Hey everyone, good morning and happy Thursday, May 9th. Dreary day today. Doug's without power. I'm with power, but staring at a whole lot of rain outside. And was woken up all night. Loud thunderstorms. Despite that, I got a pretty good sleep. Doug, how are you doing with all your circumstances?
Matt, I'm quite tired because we too were woken up all night. In fact, we were actually like hunkering down in the hallway because we don't have a basement. I was
Oh,
woken up by those like emergency alarms that go off on your phone
yeah.
sometime.
Amber Alert
Uh,
type things. Yeah.
yeah, which I've never once had in the middle of the night before, and it shot me up at midnight, and it was like tornado to touch ground in Black Mountain, 10 miles east of Asheville. Please move to basement or away from windows. And I was like, what? And I look outside and
Right.
it's just like going crazy out there. and my first reaction was like Katie and I were just like staring out the window, like literally right next to the window, and we're like, oh, I guess we should maybe move away from the windows, because I'd never seen anything like it. I mean, it was like constant lightning and thunder and winds just going crazy. It was more intense than a typical storm for sure. But we did fine. We're without power, and obviously, but thank God for hotspots. And I got
Right.
I got a camping light here to put some light on me. And here we are. We're good.
Mm-hmm.
Never
Good.
been in a tornado
Okay. Glad to
before.
hear it. What'd you say?
I've never been in a tornado before.
Yeah, I think I visited the Oklahoma City No Man Athlete running group back in the heyday of those things, and they had a
Hmm.
big tornado. It was in the summertime, like tornado season, and tornado was coming, and we they were just like in a bar, like a small bar, and everyone kind of like felt safe enough there, I guess, because it was big brick building, I don't or small brick building, but so it was just fun actually that time, but they're serious. My mom told me we were gonna get one around 4 a.m. or we were in the zone. She said someone better sleep with their phone alarm noise on. And I
Hmm.
didn't do that. I don't know if Aaron did. But does that will that like automated alert thing, will that penetrate if your phone's in
Yeah.
like do not disturb mode?
Yeah, my ringer is always off, but
Hmm. Okay.
yeah, it penetrated.
Well,
So
good to know.
I don't
All
know.
right, good. Well, so no hurricane touchdown though in Black Mountain?
Well, it did apparently, and there's a whole bunch of trees and a lot of trees on homes. So I mean, I don't think it destroyed any homes, and I don't believe anyone was seriously injured. But yeah, I mean, like there's a clear path of destruction. You can see certain roads are just like way more torn up than others.
Did you declare a state of emergency or anything like that as the town councilman? Do you
The
have the
mayor would
authority
do
to do
that.
that?
The mayor would do
Oh,
that, and
not
he
you.
has not done that yet. So no,
Okay.
I think we're okay.
Is that an official statement though that you've issued about it, saying that there was a clear path of destruction?
Not me personally. The town, the town has been sending out notifications and alerts all day. So
Oh, okay.
I've been up
All
to
right.
date on all the action all night. And I was getting messages from the police chief and stuff, and
Great.
it's Storm HQ over at over at my house last night.
Nice. Good. All right. Good. Glad to hear it. Well, good morning to a bunch of people who are here today on rainy day for us anyway. We have Britters, Jeff Hudnall, Jessica Goodenough, Carmen, Taborlin, P99, KDC, Phyllis Hauser, Allie, Garuda Legends, who we've missed in the past few shows. And I think that Kate, aka Rivercat, I think that's all the people who have checked in so far. Britter says Micah, leading female, also vegan. She was leading, but DNF'd at 3:03. That's at the what's it called?
Bummer.
Cocodona? Yeah, Cocodona. Day 4. Wow, people still running
Andrew
that
was
long.
it's somewhere around mile 200, I think. Last I
Andrew
checked.
Glaze, also vegan. So 2 good showings by vegans in there, which is shocking that a vegan diet could have you run that far. Because Doug, here I woke up to some nice comments on YouTube. Okay, a couple. Actually, we got four good comments on yesterday's video. Gregory Green right away said, "I agree with Matt. My gut reaction to always put more credibility into neutral sources of info rather than when a vegan criticizes carnivore. To me, you can't really listen to it because that person's vegan. So we don't know." Eric, new listener here, he commented and said reminds him of a thing about B12 where it's naturally occurring in the soil in times past. Vegans wouldn't have needed it. I'm not sure if I believe that argument, but I have heard that plenty, of course. Jeff Hudnall says Daiya cheese sauce packets are good, but you have got to use them on a different noodles. Don't put them on the gluten-free noodles they give you.
Okay.
So even that Velveeta-like substance, he says they have a good Alfredo sauce. And then one of them, this one came, I don't know, this morning, said, you're sick. I guess he's talking to you, Doug. You're sick for a week and a half, not feeling any better, and you're here to debunk the carnivore myths. Lingering illness is a side effect of your diet. So you're not allowed to be sick if you're going to be on a show called Plant-Based Morning Show.
Not allowed to be sick. You know, I actually had that thought yesterday. I meant to call it out and I didn't. But just that, that it was kind of funny. We were saying how how people would definitely be sick or feel terrible on a carnivore diet, and I've been sick for a long time. I almost called that out as a joke. I should have. I guess I'm not allowed to be sick.
I guess
10 years in, and it's not the fact that I have 2 kids who just are cesspools of bacteria. No, it's the diet.
No. I mean, this isn't called the Go Vegan Show, right? It's for people who are plant-based. We're here trying to look at different data, analyze stuff, try to be as neutral as possible. I even put a question mark after like carnivore myths debunked. I didn't say we're here to debunk. We just analyzed some guy's report. Anyway, there you go. Whatever. But I like that people are commenting on those videos.
Yeah,
that is a good thing. It's good for this YouTube thing, algorithm and all that, if people comment.
And
so anyway,
good
thank you
for
for that.
America.
Good for America.
Good for the show. It keeps us going when people engage.
That's right.
Keeps us going for sure.
All right, my other news is I tried the new Beyond Meat last night. We usually don't buy that stuff. Every now and then we will for a holiday or something. But then Aaron saw the new recipe, the avocado oil instead of coconut oil, means less saturated fat, better. I mean, that sold me, right? I'm not typically going to do it because of the saturated fat. But yesterday, avocado oil, figured I'd go for it. Cooked them up, and I must say they tasted different. I don't think they're as good. They don't have the same greasiness that those burgers have. I still liked it. Like it was still enjoyable, and in a way, I almost liked it better because that richness is so unnatural now. That although it's good in those burgers, this just tastes like more like a normal veggie burger, a little bit more. And so,
wait, so you liked it better?
I think most people would say it tastes less like meat than it did before.
Okay.
But because I'm so used to eating that kind of stuff, these veggie burgers that are just, kind of poor imitations, it's fine. So I do think it tastes worse. Like if you were a meat eater, I would say this is going to be less attractive to you now. You're going to say it's not the same, not as rich as the real thing. And I thought that was very interesting. If this is true, if it's not just, me, one trial thinking this. Yeah. But if it's true, if they made the taste work, which you would think they would, right? You remove a bunch of saturated fat and you put in something that is now much less saturated fat than a real burger, you're going to lose some burgerness of it. So it's an interesting decision when taste is such a big criticism of these things. And I know people think the processed food is not healthy, but I don't hear like the objection being that they have too much saturated fat. So I guess the thinking here is because right on the package it says 75% less saturated fat than before, not less than beef, but I'm not sure. Yeah. But I guess they're thinking like maybe you get a bunch of people, especially older people, maybe who are, are heart patients or that's their high risk, and they closely monitor saturated fat, and they or their wife sees this in the store and they say, "Oh, I'm going to get this. This is less saturated fat. This allows me to still enjoy my burgers and much less saturated fat." I could see that person going for it, despite the not quite as good taste. So I guess they must have. I'm sure they've done plenty of analysis and they've decided that market is there, and that's better than trying to make this taste even more like a burger.
Do you think though that do you think you were just expecting the old version? Let's say you're not as familiar with plant meat as we are, but you're that person who's walking through in the aisle and sees that this is less saturated fat, and your husband came home with high cholesterol numbers from the doctor the other day, and you want to support that, and like they're expecting a vegan burger to not taste exactly like meat but still be pretty good. Like, do you think that would satisfy it or not quite?
I don't know. To me, it's not going to blow you away and say, "Wow, this is so similar experience." A bit different, and it's not quite as good. So I don't know. That's a really good question. But I was thinking hard about it. If I had not noticed, if no one told me this was different, I'm sure I wouldn't have said anything like, "Oh, this doesn't taste quite as good as usual." It was just that I was thinking about it.
Did they change the brats and stuff too?
What's that?
Did they change the brats and stuff?
I don't think they changed any of that stuff. As far as I know, that's all stayed the same. Yeah.
Britters
So
agrees, says the taste is different, but she actually likes it better than the old version.
yeah, right. I had that sort of feeling. I was like, this is not as rich, not as meaty, but in a way, it's just kind of what I'm used to for these things. But you know what? I will also say, Beyond Meat is a distinct flavor, and I think Impossible probably does too. But whatever it is, the fakeness of it, there's something there that's just not the same. And I think that was enhanced. Like that was less covered up now with this less saturated fat. And so I didn't like that about it. But again, I'm kind of used to that sort of stuff. So like it was comfortable. It was just normal veggie burger sort of experience. So it's not like it was bad. It's just interesting when like, I don't know. It just seems like that it's all about the taste right now, and that they would make a move to go backwards a little bit there.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right. Anything else here, Doug? You got any other
Some
updates?
funny comments here.
Jessica
Goodenough says natural disasters are always a good photo op for politicians. Doug needs to seize the opportunity.
Right.
And Mr. Jeffrey agrees. Time for Councilmember Hay to hit the streets and help the common people.
Go kiss some babies and stuff, and maybe cut a ribbon of some type. Large check.
I need to get a photo up of me just like sawing one little branch off of a fallen tree on a house. And
you can do that. You have one of those large ceremonial check sort of things that you present to somebody from the town to help them.
I would never take advantage of a photo op like that.
No.
No.
Okay. Good. All right. Well, hope the town can recover from this tragedy.
Me too. It could have been a whole lot worse. I'm sure people who deal with tornadoes, you didn't
do like the thing where you send around the picture that says "I survived the Black Mountain" or like the aftermath of the Black Mountain tornado, and then you show the chair tipped over. It's like the most predictable move anyone does every earthquake now. I hate that move. You didn't do that, and no one did that you know of in your feed.
No, I haven't seen that yet. People are still like, "Oh my god, that was crazy." So,
Good. All right. Let's get into the weather report. I got no music today. My phone my computer was commandeered yesterday because the other one wasn't working, so I never got it back. But that's okay. Here we go. Speaking of all the fake meat, we got a couple fake meat news. Is 2024 Met Gala that was held Monday in NYC at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. They served some plant-based food. The dinner menu was omnivorous, but the plant-based offerings shone brightest. The spotlight on those offerings shone brightest. I don't think that's literal. I think it just they were the most I don't know, most exciting. Anyway, they had meat burger, cheeseburgers featuring Stockwell Dreamery's cultured cheddar, and Tyndall chicken burgers and fingers. And this stuff was served all the way till 5 a.m. These celebs were out there partying.
Wow.
Doja Cat. Tell me if you know it. Stop me as soon as you know one of these names. Doja Cat, Sam Smith.
I know Doja
You know
Cat.
these?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sam Smith.
How about Sam Smith?
Cardi B, Usher. These are huge names.
I know Sam Smith beer, Sam Smith ale.
Oh yeah. Samuel Smith. Yeah.
Yeah. Cardi B, you know that one?
Of course.
That's not Carly Bodrug, right? That's not her like celeb name.
No. How do you not know Cardi B?
Okay. And Usher, I know from the Super Bowl halftime party, and I knew him from before that as well. So Lewis Hamilton, I know. New York Mayor Eric Adams, I know because he was on No Meat Athlete Radio at some point, and we talk about him every now and then. And then Leo DiCaprio, SZA. Who's SZA? SZA.
I don't know her. I don't know
Lil
that.
Nas X. Is that the same as Lil? Is that? I don't even know. It isn't Nas. Nas was a guy.
Cowboy. The like cowboy rap song that was huge, massive, and now he's gone on to have several number ones. But
okay.
Man,
so he's not the same as Nas. He's now Lil Nas X, new guy.
I think he's always been Lil Nas X.
There's not like a Lil Nas 9 and 8 and all these other ones. He's just the only one, the one and only X.
The only one.
Right. Okay, and then finally Serena Williams, who we talk about sometimes on the show. Big fan of hers when she plays tennis and wins and eats a nearly vegan diet. All right, and then Stockwell Dreamery says something about many people have been burnt by poor vegan cheese experiences. Again, I don't think in a literal sense, but they've had bad vegan cheese, and that's true. So Stockwell is saying we're better than that. So that's kind of cool. The other one I have, jumping down, Peter McGinnis, the Impossible CEO, he's come out. he said part of plant-based foods' problem lies in not making a great first impression. The first time they try one of these things, they have the poor taste and texture of some other product besides theirs, and they don't like it. He also, I mean, this was just like a saying how great they are move, I guess, which is odd with how badly they've done like everyone else. But they said they're the only growing plant-based brand in the United States, and as a consequence, the fastest growing. He also pointed out that they are moved up a couple slots in market share positions. They're now number 2 behind legacy brand Morningstar, he says, and they've been around for 25 years. So a lot of horn tooting. And then he says, I think there are certain brands and products that are the problem. The problem meaning that the plant-based category ill-defined. He said some of these micro brands are using fungi and mycelium-based mushroom ingredients like meaty.
Like meaty,
yeah. Talking about my meaty there to create alternative protein products that don't necessarily taste very good.
Wow.
For my money, Peter McGinnis, the meaty carne asada is better than any Impossible product I've had. So I think he's wrong there, and I don't know.
Biased, maybe
biased. Maybe he's afraid. Maybe he's one of these bury your head in the sand and deny what's coming. I don't know. But anyway, he says these 3 types of brands: the alternative meat companies like Impossible and Beyond, and the legacy brands like Gardein and Morningstar, and then I think these upcomer micro brands. They don't belong under the same umbrella, these 3 brands or 3 types. He says only Impossible and Beyond are the only true meat alternatives in the category.
Wow.
I think he looks more highly of. Yeah, I don't know if Impossible is that good to be deserving of all this. I feel like they're going to be the old guard pretty soon. And
the Impossible CEO said that him and Beyond are the only meat alternative?
Yes, he did acknowledge that Beyond is a viable alternative meat. Whereas these other ones aren't even meat alternatives. I'm not sure why. I guess they're just not good enough. Gardein that's not a meat alternative. That's not a true meat alternative for some reason.
I wonder how often they collaborate or talk to each other. Beyond and Impossible.
Who, Beyond and Impossible?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Not collaborate, but share
strategies. Share some stuff. I mean, they're probably bitter enemies. I don't know. Although I'm sure publicly they always say, well, if one does well, the other's going to do well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Anyway,
for you not knowing any of these artists, Britter says, okay, so what musical artists do you actually know? And he knows punk rock bands from the 90s is basically his.
I know a lot of 90s, I know 80s. I know some 2000s. Death Cab, I can Death Cab you on you.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, not many.
All right, so Lil Nas X, Old Town Road. Take myself.
I know that. I know that song. I didn't know it was Lil Nas.
You probably know songs from all these. And I looked up Za, SZA. I don't even know how to say it.
Okay. I know CSIA, but that's not the same.
She sings Kill Bill, which is a popular one, for sure.
I know a movie named Kill Bill. I don't know a song.
There's a good movie named Kill Bill, too. Yeah, that's funny. All right. Just so you know, this is draining my computer battery very, very quickly. So I don't know if we'll make it the full hour.
Okay. If we don't get past the weather report today, it's all right. We got some stuff, but it's not that riveting kind of stuff. So we'll be okay if we don't do that. Just give us a heads up when you're really close to being done, and we'll just end it.
Got it.
Okay, moving on. German pet food manufacturer Dr. Clouders has partnered with Calista, which makes microbial protein, and they are launching, I don't think they're launched just yet, the world's first dog treats made with FeedKind Pet, and that is an air protein derived ingredient designed for pet nutrition. So we talked about air protein a few weeks ago, and it looks like it's first going to make its debut in pet treats. So I guess it's cool. I don't know. It's crazy that we're getting protein from air, but good.
I know. I still don't really understand it, but I trust it.
I don't either. I don't understand any of this stuff. Mighty Yum has a new formulation for its Munchables, which are kind of like Lunchables, but they're called Munchables. They're vegan. They redeveloped the turkey and cheese, the ham and cheese. No more soy or gluten in those things, which I guess you could argue makes them healthier. I don't really know for sure that it does. Replacing those with a mix of vegetables, including parsnips, chickpeas, sweet potatoes, and tomato puree. So I guess that's a good thing. I don't know. Replace wheat gluten with that stuff. It's good. I don't know if that's an improvement on soy, but probably differs depending who you ask. And 2 more interesting ones. Do you know, Doug, what lactoferrin is? I meant to look this up before the show and I didn't. Maybe someone in our audience knows.
Do not.
All right, well, a Singaporean precision fermentation company named Turtle Tree has announced they've secured the first commercial partnership with a U.S. company to launch a functional espresso that includes the world's first animal-free lactoferrin. I believe it is a type of protein based on what I saw. It supports iron regulation, immune function, gut health. It's for athletes, and now it's plant-based, which is cool. So they got this certification for this stuff 6 months ago. 60% of global lactoferrin supply goes to infant nutrition, but not this. And this is the vegan kind. So I don't know. Interesting that like they're doing precision fermentation stuff that isn't just the meats and the dairy products that we hear about, but actually making other things with it that you can only get from animals. Ian, Doug, you gonna get some of this ready to drink espresso stuff? Boost your LF plus?
I don't know. So lactoferrin is commonly found in mammalian milk, which is from the mammary gland.
That's why it's instant. Right.
Yeah.
That's why it's instant food.
It binds iron and is transformed in blah blah blah. Immunological properties, and both antibacterial and antiviral. I don't know. I mean,
you be not get sick.
That's right. As a vegan, I need anything I can get to keep my.
It's your responsibility as a talk show host guy to not get sick. You can't get sick.
That's right. That's right. Never get sick.
Right. All right, and then let's see more TV, Unchained TV. They keep putting out these vegan TV shows, like some kind of Top Chef sort of show that I watched once, and it was unwatchable. They got a new one called Kale Crew. They go on a culinary tour of Chicagoland's vegan scene. The two people, they look very loud to me, who are on the show, and that's what you usually want with a TV show. You get people full of energy, but it doesn't seem like a show I'm going to be watching. But that's just based on the appearance of the two people, so it's probably not fair for me to say that.
I can't think of a TV show, a food TV show host without thinking of Guy Fieri.
Right, and he's loud, and I don't like him. So it sounds like they're trying to.
He wears his glasses on the back of his head. It makes no sense.
Are you a fan of Guy Fieri?
I would like him a lot better. No, you do you.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So there's that one, and I think I got one more here. Oh yeah, Italy has banned the use of puppies in yoga classes on animal welfare grounds. This is a surprise to me because Italy also banned fake meat or cultivated meat because it's a threat to their food culture. So I thought maybe they don't care that much about animals, but no, I guess they do, because in this case, they said, there was an investigation by an Italian news show. It alleged that several yoga studios were mistreating the puppies and keeping them in pens between classes. So that's bad. I kind of thought you just brought your own puppy to a yoga class, but apparently they just stay in there as if they were gymnastics tools. And that's horrible. That really is a terrible thing.
That is bad. That's very bad.
Yeah, so no longer can that happen. Adult dogs can still be used in yoga classes and other animal-assisted activities. It'd be nice if they had rules that you can't keep them in the yoga studio. It just seems like very, very wrong to me. Right. But I guess we're doing it. The UK has also had experience with this, and I think it's still legal in the UK, but there's been some controversy with animal rights groups and things there. I didn't even know puppy yoga was a thing. Actually, I knew like goat yoga was a thing at a
goat
farm.
Yoga, definitely a thing. Puppy yoga too, but like you said, I just assumed it was kind of like bringing your own puppy, or like a one of the kennels or something like that brings over a bunch of the puppies and you can take one home if you want to adopt it, kind of thing. I don't know. I didn't realize that yoga studios are actually using that as a way to.
Right. If it's an adoption technique, I'm all for it. I like that idea. Puppies ruin any sort of activity you try to do. So wouldn't they make yoga undoable? Like, it just doesn't seem like that could work.
I don't know. I mean, I think they like goat yoga, which I've never done, but if people have done it,
goats probably are pretty docile, right? They just sort of hang out.
I think they just like climb up on top of you when you're in down dog and stuff. Like, those are the classic goat yoga pictures you see. Someone on down dog and they've like climbed up on top of you. But I think it's just like a unique, fun thing to do. But I don't know. I mean, if they're keeping the animals just for you to get pleasure out of doing yoga with them, that's not good.
No, not good. Mr. Jeffrey says, sounds like Italy just hates progress. I don't know if he's being facetious here, or does he really think puppy yoga is progress? I don't know. Not sure. That sounds like an oddball comment to come from Mr. Jeffrey. But what are you gonna do?
Maybe around the meat.
Maybe what?
Maybe around the meat stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, we knew that. I mean, that was months ago. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's the whole weather report. Did I miss any there, Doug, that you know of? No. Got them all. Good. All right. How we doing on power? Again, Doug's on hotspot because he had no power in his house. So
we're good. I've got 28% battery. Started with almost 70. So we're good for a little bit.
All right, good. Let's knock out this last thing, and then we won't do the extra thing I found. But Reds News has reported there's been a new study that just published yesterday. The title of that study is Association of Ultra-Processed Food Consumption with All-Cause and Cause-Specific Mortality Population-Based Cohort Study. This was a long-term study. Female registered nurses from 11 U.S. states in the Nurses Health Study. I think my aunts were in that Nurses Health Study, I believe. Not positive, but I think so. I think don't nurses always go in studies a lot? It was like a popular thing, or maybe it was just that one and it was so big. But anyway, and also male health professionals from all 50 U.S. states in the health professionals follow-up study. So a lot of people, 74,000 women, 39,000 men, no history of cancer, cardiovascular disease, or diabetes at the baseline. And let me skim down to the results here. They found some interesting stuff. I wouldn't say it's shocking at all, but they did find some interesting things. They said people with, let's see, first of all, people who it was observational. The people who had higher ultra-processed food consumption were younger, more physically inactive, and more likely to smoke and had a higher body mass index, lower consumption of alcohol, which is strange, whole fruits and vegetables, and whole grains. So in general, these things stick together. Eating lots of ultra-processed food also, goes with inactivity, goes with being younger, goes with smoking, but for some reason doesn't go with lower alcohol consumption. Maybe that's just because younger people don't drink as much alcohol as previous generations. They seem to be getting their kicks elsewhere, for better or for worse. So maybe that's the explanation. I don't really know. But I don't think that's it, because everyone in the study would have been somewhat older. Anyway, they looked at the hazard ratios of these different foods and things like that, and they said strong positive associations between ultra-processed food and mortality outcomes. They said none of these though were associations for death due to cardiovascular disease, cancer, or respiratory disease. So that's interesting. It's largely neurodegenerative death.
Death, right? Like
what?
Isn't that those are like the highest?
Those are the big causes. Yeah, I mean, neurodegenerative is a big one, and that's one that had 8% higher risk. So maybe it messes with your brain more than anything else. I don't know. They did kind of break down the foods into different groups: meat, poultry, and seafood ready-to-eat products. For example, processed meat, that had the very strongest association to all-cause mortality. And let's see, other subgroups that had high all-cause mortality were sugar-sweetened and artificially sweetened beverages, other processed foods, which were mainly composed of artificial sweeteners, dairy-based desserts, ultra-processed breakfast foods, excluding whole grains. And then they looked at sugar-sweetened and artificially sweetened beverages and found a generally stronger association for sugar-sweetened than artificially sweetened. So we always say, like, some people say, well, maybe the artificial stuff is worse than the sugar. It appears that, at least from this study, that the real sugar, better for you than artificial sweeteners.
Worse for you.
Beverages. What's that, Doug?
Worse for you, not better for you,
right? A stronger association for sugar sweetened than artificially sweetened. Yes, sorry. So the artificial actually is an improvement on sugar. Yes, I said that wrong. So very good.
I always mix this up, or not mix this up, but processed meats. We're talking hot dogs. We're talking like bologna, sausages,
right? Lunch meats, that kind of stuff.
Lunch meats.
And I think whatever is done to bacon. What's it called when the stuff is
cured?
Yes, I think cured counts as processing generally.
Okay. But not like steaks or not burgers, really, right?
Ground. No, I don't think general like ground beef, even the high fat kind, is considered very processed.
Okay. And fish.
What's that?
Fish, like a cut of fish.
Yeah, they mentioned ready to eat fish, so I don't know what kind of processing is done to make it ready to eat. But maybe that's like the smoking and that kind of curing stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is this kind of goes along with the trend we've seen recently that meat in general by itself, unprocessed meat, that doesn't seem to be as dangerous as was once thought, just based on kind of recent studies. I'm not saying that they're definitive or anything like that, but in general, they seem to be safer than thought, and these processed ones keep on doing badly in these kinds of studies. So,
Right.
yeah, I don't know. That's just I mean, like I said, not really a lot surprising here. This is sort of what you would expect. But it is more weight to the evidence that exists already. This is a long-term big study. So this is not some small little thing. I'm sure there will be criticisms of the design or whatever, but this is big. This isn't a small, tiny little thing. So I'd be staying away from processed meat if I was an omnivore. And I believe Garuda, our resident omnivore, would agree. I think he probably stays away from the processed meats as well, but I'm not positive there. All right. What else? Doug? Anything else before we go here? I'm looking back in the comments. I see he is wrong. Shots fired. He's wrong. Wishful thinking on his part. He's hearing footsteps and is in denial. This is about me and the band still. It's in that conversation. I don't know. And then Britter said he knew Alkaline, so I'll give him that. And I didn't know Alkaline true. But yeah, they're a 2000s band. Anyway, that's unrelated to what we were talking about, but it caught my eye. This shots fired, he is wrong stuff.
Might be Garuda. There was some.
Oh, Garuda jumped in with something. I didn't know Garuda said anything other than hello. Okay.
Yeah. No, that's it. We might not be doing a show tomorrow. Possibly.
Yes, not doing a show tomorrow. We're not doing it. We don't have enough people to do an afternoon show, and Doug's going camping. Is that right? Camping? Is that what you're doing?
Camping. That's right. Yeah.
Good. After a few hard weeks getting Plantapalooza ready, so well deserved. So we will not have a show tomorrow. Not that anybody attended it anyway. I know anyone here, none of you people who claimed you wanted a Friday show so badly actually show up to the Friday afternoon show. So it's really irrelevant news to everyone who's here. Not everyone, because a few people do come to it. I think Jessica, I think Britters, and then
Dale Stevens, I believe, comes to it.
Dale Stevens, yeah, I think so. Anyway, I'm just kidding. People do come, and it's good. It's not a bad crowd that shows up there. Garuda comes to it sometimes. All right,
Matt O'Connor, he comes.
Matt O'Connor, he's always there. That's right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good. All right. What else, Doug? Anything else?
No, I think that's it. We'll hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. And I meant to talk about baseball yesterday. I forgot.
Okay.
Not really important anymore. Nats were playing the O's. I was going to talk about that. Both teams are doing well.
Yep.
So all is good.
Who won? Who was the winner of the series?
I don't know. I didn't actually check. I didn't check. Yeah. But the O's are doing awesome.
They are doing well. I haven't followed that closely, but my friends always text about it, and I'm on their thread. So always good to hear that they're doing well. All right, Brandon Turner, quickly, just because we got a few more minutes, says, good morning. Haven't been able to listen to full episodes live. My son's birthday was also May 7th, Matt, like my daughter's. Doug, hope you're feeling better. Catching up on the podcast. Have a great weekend. That's just good vibes coming out of Brandon Turner there. So I figured that was worth shouting out, and I'll even put it up on the screen. Britters wants to know where's her mug. I know I got to make the mugs. I haven't gotten on making the mugs yet. Dragging my feet. I think there was like a quantity issue. If you got less than like 10, they were really expensive. Maybe we need to get more than 10. I don't know.
Yeah, if we're gonna send them out to Britters, and we gotta have more than 10.
You're right. You're right. Okay, Brandon Turner wants one as well. All right, I'll get on the mugs. I'll work on that. And
also the shorts that we've been promising have not been coming.
Yeah, well, Plantapalooza I think has derailed some of the team a little bit. So
yeah,
we got to work on that. But yes. All right. Anyway, thank you all for showing up and commenting. Short show. Apologize for the short show today, but that's what Mother Nature's plan was for us today. So be it. We'll see you on Tuesday. That's when we'll be back. Enjoy your weekend, long weekend from this perspective of not having a morning show. So yeah, have fun, be safe, enjoy the springtime. Hopefully there's good weather.
Matt says that tomorrow will be a great day for you to design the mugs, Matt, with no show going on.
It would be a good day. All right, maybe I'll carve out that hour for that.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's it. Goodbye.